Welcome to Honcho on the Air, a podcast that brings you the latest talks and the latest trends in business, technology, innovation, and the candid side of C level executives. Each week on this season, we explore topics and issues on post pandemic digital transformation, recovery plan, a digital economy, transformational technologies, data analytics, and AI, and many more.
Honcho on the Air second season is sponsored by Tier 1 Entertainment. Truly top tier. Like what you hear so far, make sure you never miss the show by clicking the follow button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now back to the show.
For this episode, let me just introduce our guest today. His name is Francis Mamasabulod. He's the head of strategic commercial partnerships of the Philippine marketing arm of the social media application Leica. His background includes consumer marketing and B2B marketing. He is going to share with us what's next for digital transformation post pandemic. Hi, Francis. Thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us this episode.
Hello. Good day to you guys. Thank you for having me in this episode. Hopefully, you're safe and well.
Thank you so much for that one, Francis. So, I was just able to share a brief summary of who you are. So, let me give you the time and opportunity to, of course, share your experience, what you do, and, of course, properly introduce to our viewers what Leica is about.
Yeah. So thank you for that. So I'm the strategic commercial partnership head for Leica here in the Philippines. And what I do is really create some commercial partnerships and create some external relations with different government entities, private entities, and even organizations like, for example, Miss Universe, etc., etc. So that's my primary function as a head for commercial partnerships. And so basically, Leica is the one of the trendiest app right now in the Philippines. So, and I know a lot of people are enjoying this. We have 7 million users, and we have 20,000 merchants all across the Philippines in Leica. So basically, a lot of people are enjoying this because, you know, people can use Leica gems. In their purchases, in their what do you call this, buying of service, and of course even gifting their friends. So it's a unique app in the sense that there's certain utility and there's certain ano tawag dito, personal enjoyment if you somehow purchase gems without using your cash. Yan.
That's good. That's good. They're actually it's such a famous app right now, and of course, most of the people who are on social media are very familiar with how it goes and how do you manage it and how do you go about it. But I'm sure everyone's curious to ask you as well. How did Leica came to be? How did it start? And how was the planning for it?
Yeah.
Can you share more about that one?
Yeah, in our company, it's a bit of a legend in how it started because we're a young company. So started more than 3 years ago in Silicon Valley, California, with Ryan Baird, and of course, one of the things that he noticed is that people are using the app or any app, Facebook, whatsoever, or Instagram, and people are not getting any incentives out of that. So what he saw there is that there's a waste of time in the people for the people because what they do is just scrolling and scrolling for hours and they get nothing out of it. So he came into provision that what if we can develop an app that would somehow reward people for giving their time while using the app. So this came into mind na nung una iba pa yung pangalan ng Laika. So it's like it has a different name like things I like, and it was shortened into Laika. So
Mhm.
the reason why he put it here in the Philippines primarily because in the concept of rewards. So if people in the Philippines would be rewarded every time they use Laika, in his understanding, in our understanding, it would create some impact to the lifestyle of the Filipino people. Actually, it did already in our stint of 3 years. A lot of people are benefiting from it. A lot of people were able to, buy important things, even build their houses through Leica Gems. And it's an incredible app because our app is like only contains positive thoughts, happy news. We negate or we veer away from uh, news that can somehow affect other people's lives in a negative way. So we believe in positivity. That's why Laika is all good and all fun under the sun. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And it's not really like just for from a business perspective, which is growing exponentially for Leica, but also it advocates for really something that's very positive as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sure many of our viewers would be interested and curious to know, especially for those who are not yet familiar with the interface of Leica. How does it work, Francis?
Well, it's like an a any ordinary social media. So, for example, you can find us in Huawei Gallery, Google Play, and even the Play Store. So you can download it. Just as simple as that, and you just input your certain information, your name, your phone number, or even you can use your Facebook account to create a account for in Leica. And once you already created an account, then you can add a lot of your friends if they're on Leica, and you'll see the feed. The It's like very simplistic. It's all more on scrolling up, and the layout is a bit streamlined. It's not really magulo,
Mm-hmm.
hindi dizzying. So the reason for that is that when you spend too much time in an app, minsan masakit na sa mata, very
Correct.
stressful na. So what we did is that the UX and the UI, we really improve on that. We ask the clients, we ask our users what is the best. We even do that. We conduct surveys for that, and and at a certain point, we were very concerned that this particular app would be parang dumb proof. So it's like kahit sino pwedeng gumamit,
Right,
regardless
right.
of what age. Yan.
Mhm. It's something that's very user friendly.
Yes,
And
oo.
I think that's good because, not everyone who has like a smartphone would be really like interacting with everything that's very, you know, confusing. And I think it's
Yes.
a good that the app is really something that's very easy to interact with.
Mm,
But how do you go ahead, and of course it promotes a positive lifestyle as well.
mm.
In terms of promoting the positive lifestyle, how do you integrate the use of this app?
That's a great question because the primary purpose of Laika really is to create an ecosystem within the app. So when I say create an ecosystem within the app, is that a user need not go out the app because everything that he needs is there. So for
Mm,
example, people can use the app even to gas up, to pay for bills in the hospital, pay for Meralco bills, and of course, and they can even pay for services, tickets in the airlines. And we also have our Leica Mall. So if you notice, these are the common things intuitive to us that we do outside. Now, what we did is that we put everything inside an app so that you will use it flawlessly, and you need not go to other apps or other sites that sometimes will bog down your time and everything. Because in Leica, we have 20,000 merchants. So the merchants varies from different industries. Meron dyan mga services, we have retail, we have food, we have cars, we have automotives, we have airplanes, whatsoever. We have even resorts, hotels, and everything. So if you notice, these are the things that people would love to do when they have, for example, time to do it. So, Leica really is a time saver, and of course, it somehow compresses everything into one small app, into one efficient app with full of positivity, with intuitive functions na hindi na lalabas si user. Plus, of course, the other thing that we consider is that the business side of it. Why? because we have 7 million users and we're still growing. I'll be honest with you, we're still growing exponentially. We already have in Indonesia, Malaysia, and even in Vietnam, in South Korea. So we're growing exponentially. Right now here in the Philippines, we're trying to grow as much as siguro from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Now I also handle the Visayas and Mindanao development remotely. So it's a bit of a challenge, but the thing is, we are growing exponentially. So once we grow our business here in the Philippines, Filipinos can benefit it because all of the businesses will be there. And now the business will benefit because we have 7 million or more users, and what will happen is that they can create engagement, therefore can they really create their sales funnel and can engage in sales. So ano siya, it's a win-win both ways, the users and the merchants on the business side, and of course on the convenience side are the users.
Right, right. Well, since we've discussed about the growth in the Philippine market as well already, and of course having the Leica app being a centralized service provider throughout all the needs of the users, wherein you do have several merchants across various services. I'm just curious to ask you, Francis, what did you see in the Philippine market that had you decide to, of course, grow the Leica app here in the local demographics as well?
Yeah, it's very critical that the Philippine market should be tapped. In all of the countries in Southeast Asia, we are one of the most dynamic in terms of culture app based community. So, what do I mean by that? Filipinos are really adept already in social media, and they're very critical. They know a good app to a bad app. And in the Philippines, this is where I can say the testing lab of the apps. If you're gonna be doing great all across the world, you will definitely succeed in the Philippines. But if you did not succeed in the Philippines, medyo magkakaroon ka ng problema in some other parts of the world. And there are a lot of apps that did this. So they try to iterate and iterate and iterate. But the thing is, Filipinos are really picky and Filipinos are really mature in terms of selecting the app. And of course, Laika was able to penetrate the lifestyle of the Filipino people in one app, and we were able to somehow give them a sense of utility for the app and a sense of fulfillment to the app, because when I say fulfillment is that this is the only app right now in the world that gives you rewards as you use the gem. What if you're not using the use the gem, use the app? Say for example, somebody would rate your picture in Facebook, regardless of how many likes that you have, you're not getting anything. But
That's
in
true.
Leica, it really counts. For example, somebody would give you 10,000 gems as a rating. That's already 100 pesos in monetary equivalent. So try to imagine that you're being rated because, for example, they love your picture. So there's a sense of fulfillment. So
Mhm.
in other in other social media, you need to get a lot of followers pa. Say for example in YouTube, you need to have 50,000 followers or your viewers to monetize your account. Here in Laika, in day one, you can monetize your account already. So that's the big difference. And of course, that's the convenience that we bring to the Philippine market. And that's why Laika was able, in a very short span of time, able to get 20,000 merchants, 7 million users, and of course, the love of the Filipino people.
Honcho on the Air second season is sponsored by Globe Labs. Redefine possibilities. Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss the show by clicking the follow button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now back to the show.
That's nice, Francis. It's not really like just being something, an app that's something convenient for you, like one click and you do have everything around you, but it also provides your users a sense of validation. And of course, I think that's very important right now, going through what's of course
Yeah.
everything that happened during this pandemic. But in terms of integrating what happened during this pandemic. How was it for Leica? Were there challenges that had to be addressed, an opportunity that you were able to see and leverage on? How was it from your end?
The pandemic was somehow scourge in a blessing. It's a scourge in the sense that we weren't able to go to different, regions, of course, to introduce Leica. But then again, our user base grew exponentially, and our merchants grew exponentially also in a very short span of time. And because of the pandemic, a lot of people were able to discover Leica because yung time ng pandemic, lahat ng tao were like using their phones and everything, nasa bahay lang. And of course, they were able to discover Leica. Upon the discovery, they were somehow, they like Leica. And what happened was, it turned out to be a good app for them. And for the merchants also, it was a good app for the merchant. So the pandemic gave us a boost because more Filipinos have more time to to use their phone, to search for use their phone in searching for an app or utilizing the app. So ayun ang time na binigay sa amin ng pandemic. And I told you, it's a scourge because you couldn't go to different places. But the thing is, a lot of users grew and a lot of merchants grew also. So it's also a blessing in a way.
Got it. And that's nice
Mhm.
to hear as well. So, Francis, in terms of the digital marketing side, what's next for Leica? Because I do understand that the app has been, of course, a very easy app to interact with. Is
Mm.
there something that from your end is you're planning to add on or change or integrate additional features? Is that
Yes.
something that you're planning with the Leica app moving forward?
Definitely, Leica will have a lot of features that would somehow rival major players, independent, apps that are in certain music industry and even streaming. So I'm not tawag dito, authorized to say pa kung ano pa yung mga improvements. But the thing is,
Definitely.
uh, there will be a lot of improvements coming this new year, and we are very happy that a lot of people are waiting for this, and of course, a lot of celebrities are enjoying our app, and these improvements, its goal is really what to improve the user experience in the app, our efficiencies for the businesses. And these technologies talaga, you can say it's going to be a disruptive technology because it's going to be one of the first in the
Mhm.
industry. So hang
Wow.
on to your seats because there will be a new Leica feature, or there will be a lot of Leica features this coming few months to come.
Definitely something that the users would be really looking forward to. But
Yes.
speaking of digital transformation, because, well, of course, going through this pandemic, I understand that most businesses had to pivot
Yeah.
strategies in terms of marketing. What do you think would be something that's very useful in the digital and automation side post pandemic? Are you okay to? Do you have strategies, marketing strategies right now that you're still uh, that you're gonna have to continue moving forward or tweak it a little bit? Is it something that you've decided on?
Yeah, actually, we're gonna be, tweak a little bit some of our marketing strategies. Definitely, we will continue to grow in terms of users. That's one of the priorities that we have right now, and we are going to, you know, grow regionally. So that's another thing. And in terms of post-pandemic automations and everything, there will be some improvements in terms of automations and technology inside the app. And the reason for that is that we want to make sure the user experience and of course our security, our brand would be safe, and the people privacy will be respected all the time. And we just want our app to be more relevant as the years go by, because relevance is very important, especially with technology. And
That's true.
in the app industry, if you don't evolve in like 2, 3, 6 months, you're gonna be losing the battle. So our improvement is continuous. Our R&D, our research and development is continuously doing a lot of stuff to make our app as powerful as it is and as useful as this.
That's good. And actually, based from our discussion, it's clear and it's easy to understand that the Like app was able to establish itself in a very short span of time, and has had the users very excited to continuously use the app as well. But in terms of the merchant side, I'm sure most businesses and reviewers who probably are business owners, what would be the main factor or the push factor for them to collaborate with Leica?
Yeah, that is one of the best questions really for businesses. A lot of the businesses right now when Facebook came out, a lot of businesses would like to go to Facebook and create their funnels. They like to go from Google Ads and create their funnels. Our approach is totally different. We want first-hand engagement for the merchants. Why? Engagement is king in digital marketing. If you're able to engage your consumer at a very short span of time, that's going to be critical for your business. Especially right now, majority of the businesses in Leica are SMEs, small medium enterprises, and of course, 10% of our merchants are like the top echelons or in tier one. But the thing is, majority of the Filipino people um, like this SMEs eh. And so SMEs, one way for them to engage our consumers, their consumers, creatively and beautifully, they can do it in Leica. Plus, of course, may function kasi si Leica na you can order, you can pay. So it's not like communication lang. So you can even pay in advance, you can order in advance, and of course you can rate them. So ang maganda dito, even their social media handle for that particular brand is earning. Especially, di ba, may mga reviews tayo sa mga restaurants. So may mga 5 stars and everything. Dito in there, 5 gems. Pwedeng i-rate yung mga restaurants. So ayun ang kagandahan dito because you're giving an opportunity for the merchants, for the businesses to engage directly to their business segments or to their clientele directly. And for the clients naman, they can engage the businesses or the brand directly na rin. So ayun ang kagandahan niya. So I guess that's the beauty in on the business side for the merchants, our business partners, because they were able to create new businesses or new
Mhm.
revenues that they did not expect na magagawa because before, for example, if you're a restaurant, there's Food Panda, Grab Food, and everything. But when Leica is here, may Leica revenue na kayo. For example naman sa retail, if you have mga clothes naka-display sa Leica and everything, magkakaroon rin ng Leica revenue. So that's totally a new revenue stream for them. We're giving them an opportunity to earn more, to market more, to engage more.
Right, and it saves them the time and resources as well from their end, since engaging with the Like app has given so much for the merchants to leverage, especially in coordinating, and of course having an established relationship with their patrons as well. Then that's very very good to hear. I think it really advocates for something that we lost during this
Yeah.
pandemic, of course, in terms of like interacting with everyone and the people around us. So I think it's a very good leverage, an opportunity to leverage on the app as well. However, Francis, unfortunately, we do not have the liberty of time, but I'm giving you additional more time just in case you do I missed anything or you would like to share additional information about the Leica app. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity, and of course, ASEAN HR organization for giving us this opportunity for this particular podcast. I would like to thank all the subscribers of Leica, the users of Leica, for sticking with us through thick and thin. And one of the best things about you guys, you're so loyal to Leica, and through even with all the difficulties that we had through the years, you're still there and you still appreciate Leica. And for the merchants, thank you for your patience and understanding for all the things that is happening right now. But the thing is, we together we can get through this, and of course Leica will always be an app for you, and will always help you in your endeavors. So thank you very much to all the Leica supporters, to all the Leica users, and to all the brands and Leica merchants who continuously patronize our app. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Francis Mamasabulod, Head of Strategic Commercial Partnerships of the Leica app. Thank you, viewers, for joining us this week on Honcho on the Air. Make sure to visit our website, asianhr.org, and to subscribe to us in Spotify so you'll never miss an episode. While you're at it, also like and subscribe to our social media pages to get the latest news and updates. This has been Blyton, your host for this episode. Thank you until the next episode.